Hello friends, welcome to another video, this time from El Prat de Llobregat, in Barcelona, the airport neighborhood. Over there, not too far away, is the Barcelona airport, from which, in a few hours, I'll be taking a plane to the next destination. And as you may have seen in the title of the video, I have something important to tell you. It's about a new project on the channel. I want to travel through the 15 former Soviet republics, 15 countries today, in a period of 3 to 6 months. We'll see how it goes for me, because don't think that I've quit my job or that I've taken a sabbatical year. The truth is that I only have the first 20 days organized, nothing more. Even so, this is the longest trip I'm going to take, right? Because before it was always like 5 days, 8 days at most, 2 days. Obviously, I'll have to take breaks to work, but I do intend to break this period up into stages so that I have enough time to visit, more or less consecutively, all these countries. First of all, I would like to talk about the countries that make up this project, the 15 former republics, or the 15 countries today, that were part of the most stable borders of the Soviet Union. And with this, as many of you know, I mean that the Soviet Union was not always uniform, several republics were created, joined and separated throughout its history. However, the most stable period of borders was these 15 republics, from the mid-1950s until its dissolution. We have, starting this list of countries, in the Caucasus, Armenia, a country whose economy was largely based on heavy industry and agricultural production. Also, next to it, neighboring Azerbaijan, in the Caucasus, which had a diversified economy, with a large amount of oil and natural gas, being one of the most important points in the Soviet Union for this type of hydrocarbons. Closing this list of countries in the Caucasus, we have Georgia, whose economy was based on agriculture, such as grape, citrus, nut, and tea crops, not to mention the tourism industry, which was also one of the main sources of income for the country. Belarus had a manufacturing industry, including the production of trucks, tractors, and agricultural machinery, also with an important petrochemical and metallurgical industry. Next, we can move on to the Baltics, with Estonia, whose economy stood out for its electronics and high-tech industry. Or Latvia, which had a diversified economy with an emphasis on the manufacturing industry, including the production of machinery, electronic equipment, and chemical products. And closing this list of Baltic countries, we have Lithuania, whose economy stood out for its food industry, for example. South of the Baltics and Belarus, we find Ukraine, which had a diversified economy with a large amount of natural resources, including coal, iron, steel, and agricultural products. South of Ukraine, Moldova, whose economy was largely based on agriculture, especially focused on fruits, vegetables, wine, and tobacco. Then we have Russia, the largest republic of the Soviet Union, which had a huge economy ranging from minerals, heavy industry, agriculture. It could be called the backbone of this Soviet Union. Next we have the Central Asian countries, starting with Turkmenistan, which had an economy based on the natural gas and oil industry. Also, along with Azerbaijan, it was one of the main suppliers of gas and oil to the Soviet Union. Kazakhstan, the largest country after Russia today, contributed a large amount of natural resources to the Soviet Union, including oil, natural gas, coal, and minerals. Continuing with the list of Central Asian countries, we come to Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan's neighbor, whose economy was largely based on agriculture, especially the cultivation of cotton, fruits, and vegetables. Next, we have Tajikistan, a country I have been fortunate enough to visit. It was also mainly dedicated to agriculture, with an emphasis on cotton, fruits and vegetables, as well as textile manufacturing and the production of chemicals and aluminum. And finally, we have Kyrgyzstan, whose economy was also based on agriculture, with crops like cotton, wheat and potatoes. And just like Georgia, it also generated a lot of income from tourism. As you can see, this union of 15 countries, of 15 republics, made the Soviet Union a country capable of everything it achieved, of all its accomplishments for humanity, with its lights and shadows, obviously. Well, after this little summary about the former Soviet republics and the current countries I plan to visit, let me show you my luggage. Here it is. Oh my. 2 backpacks, the sleeping mat, the sleeping bag. I'm used to always traveling light, and that's what I recommend, travel light, but oh man, I'm loaded down like a mule. But that's part of the project too, and to do these stages I've also thought about camping, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and it's been a long time since I last did it. I think it's been 6 or 7 years since I last camped in Chile, in the Dunas de Ritoque and on Cerro Campana, so I'm pretty rusty, honestly. We'll see how I manage, but there are some natural areas, for example, where I'd like to camp. I don't know, I just felt like it, and I also wanted to share that travel experience with you all. I have my backpack here, with the tent inside, the sleeping bag, the mat here. Well, the typical backpack I usually carry, which also has a drone to record aerial footage, in the countries where it's allowed, because in some others it's forbidden. I also have the camera, well, the case where I keep the camera, a hard drive or two, and the laptop to edit the videos later. Another detail of this new project is the series format, which is something I was really looking forward to. What do I mean by this? Making a series of episodes so you can watch the journey through the 15 former republics in chronological order. Even though I won't do everything all at once, because obviously I have to work, I'll have to take breaks, I don't know, of 10 days, 15 days, to edit the videos, to work. Like I said, I'm not taking a sabbatical year, I'm not quitting my job or anything. But I'll try to make them as short as possible so that we have the chronological order, the episodes for example numbered, which is something that came to my mind when I did the trips through the Caucasus. A lot of people told me, well, that they would like to see the series in order. Sometimes YouTube recommends a video from the channel, then another one that's 3 or 4 months apart. So I think that numbering the videos is something that can help you understand and see the chronology of the trip and follow it along with me as well, right? Another new thing on the channel is that, well, many of you have asked me about donations, right? A PayPal or some platform to be able to donate and contribute to the channel. And even though I didn't plan on it at first, several people have contacted me privately and also left comments asking me to open a platform so they could make their donation. So, one new thing on the channel is that I'll leave these links in the video description. If you like the project or want to contribute to the channel so I can keep making videos and traveling more often, I'd be happy to receive your support. I'll leave the link in the description, you'll be able to find it there, and if not, you can also find me in the comments or through my personal email. Once this brief introduction is done, this episode 0, as we could call it, of this new series, we'll see how far we get, we'll see where the road takes us. That's it. I'm excited to start at the first destination, so stay tuned for the next video. Damn, oh man, this is going to be tough, huh? I've only been walking for half an hour from the little park where I made the video. Ha ha ha, this is crazy, oh man. I've ended up in some tunnels built for the First World War, oh man. So that the soldiers and the personnel who were inside here wouldn't die of suffocation, there was a very complex ventilation system. There's the mushroom cloud from the nuclear explosion. I don't know what it says. Signal оповещения.
Хорошая девушка, да?
Пойдем.
Здравствуйте. Как зовут?
Галина зовут.
Я была сначала православной,
Да, потому что Европа закрыта, доходы упали,